Okay, so we have an ultimatum from the Italians. Try and lead them away, and then with our light cruiser we will try and sneak in. Hello, welcome back to episode 7 of our Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts Spain campaign, and we are continuing on with our building our new torpedo boats. We are now at peace with the US, but heading towards war, it looks like, with the Italians, and I would like to, if we can, manage to capture Sardinia from them. It's worth about $500 million on the income, and it also has, well, it just kind of makes sense, just extend our Mediterranean holdings. We already have a presence in the Western Med. Finances, we're in the red at the minute on our monthly balance, but we've got our big payout from the Americans. So I'm going to up the tech budget slightly. We'll keep increasing that. We've got a couple of ships in sea, rather, in the Caribbean. So our battleships, as soon as they get back to port, we'll move our battleship squadron back over the Atlantic and maybe leave a couple of them over there, and then we'll be back into positive on the finances, hopefully. So let's skip through the turns, and we'll continue to try and increase our tensions with the Italians. So we can now build heavy cruisers up to 5,000 tons. I'm still not very happy with our heavy cruisers as they were. Our torpedo boats, they're low on crew, or our armoured cruisers at this point, sorry, and we'll try and improve those. I'm just going to set add crew to automatic. And in terms of research, we can now build larger armoured cruisers. We don't have much in the way of improvements yet on them, though. I would like to build some better light cruisers in the meantime. Let's increase tensions with the Italians, so they still don't have any battleships. Their economy is much bigger than ours and is growing faster. They also have better army logistics, although we don't share a border with them anywhere at this point. In terms of that army logistics score, we do need to try and get this up, so we need to increase our naval power rating. As it's actually higher than the Italians, but they have less overseas possessions. I believe they only have Sudan, Eritrea, and Italian Somaliland. Yeah, so that's why theirs is better than ours on the logistics. So we'll move straight on to the next turn. And we've got our new Madrid class battleships now, so I'm tempted to leave the older battleships over in the Caribbean. We've unlocked white powder, slightly better explosives. Okay, so we've deteriorated our relations with the Italians. Greece has defeated the Ottomans. A couple of battles going on there. So what have we got in Havana now? We're over our port limit by about a long way now. If we will leave a couple of the older battleships over there, we have our squadron still of our 3 Cadiz class armoured cruisers. And I think it's time we brought our flagship, the Victorioso, home after its exploits in the Caribbean. So we're going to bring them into La Coruña, and we'll bring Victorioso and also the we'll bring the Rosa as well, and then we'll leave the other 3 there. We'll bring torpedo boat and a couple of light cruisers over as escorts for it. It's going to take it a couple of turns to get back over into Spanish waters, and we'll just keep our negative balance at the moment. In fact, we could probably drop our crew training down. I'm just going to drop that down a little bit just to get the deficit down a bit. Our training as cadets, it's not very good. We do have a little bit of experience with some of our ships now, so that is improved a little bit. Italians, we can't do them again. The Russians, let's just see what they've actually got. So they've only got 6 battleships, and our fleet isn't too far behind them, but they haven't really got any possessions that we would be really after. We'd have to defend the eastern territories, the Philippines, from them. I'm actually going to go with the... I want to avoid the French. I'm actually going to go with the Americans again, just because I really would like to get Panama again at some point. So move on through to September. Press accuses us of delays and disruption of ship construction contracts. So we can get lose a bit of prestige for some unrest reduction, and we could go with this week. So some cash does hurt our GDP longer term, so I'm just going to go with the Navy has nothing to do with the corruption caused by politicians. So at a press conference we were asked about the recent evidence that foreign espionage targets our Navy. How do we respond? So we can take unrest. We're sacrificing prestige really here, or unrest, but I'm going to blame the US. And we have got minesweeping wires, so we can now do minesweeping. And tension increase again with the US. Okay, so Honduras' leader has basically asked us for armed support to invade. I think we will accept that. See what the tonnage requirement is. It's only 3,000 tons. I'm going to leave our battleships heading back across the Atlantic, and we'll use our other ships that are still in the Caribbean. They're still on station, so let's go really overkill on this one. We'll send 2 battleships, 2 armoured cruisers, and a light cruiser. That more than makes the tonnage limit. That should make that fairly certain. So what's Honduras worth? So 239 million. It's only got 500,000 population, no oil. But again, it kind of makes sense given where the rest of our territories are. Again, this will hurt our army logistics, but so be it at this point. And increase tensions with the Italians again. Finances okay for now. Yep, they hate us. Lost a few soldiers in the battle for Honduras. How's that going? So 100% chance to exceed, just because we have massively, almost 10 times the tonnage we require there. Battleships making our slow progress there across the Atlantic. Let's see what we've got research coming up. Some lighter boilers. We can get triple expansion engines in just over a year. Can't see what the next big gun increase is. The torpedo tubes, we can get improved torpedo tube mechanisms, and we've now completed the torpedo boats for our new design. I'm actually going to build a few more of those. So it was the okay, we've got some refit designs which I don't remember doing. I don't think we did those. That's interesting. But it was the Canary class that we designed ourselves, and we'll build 3 more. Spread them around. In terms of tensions, can't do the Italians again, so we'll do the Americans once more. And crack on with the turns. So our technology is advanced at the minute. I'd like to try and keep it that way. That's the only way we're going to be able to compete, really. The Americans didn't take the bait. They were trying to get hold of Northern Columbia themselves. So we've got one more turn on the conquest of Honduras there. Where the battleships still, they're making slow way across the Atlantic. Yeah, again, nothing. I'm still going to keep the priorities at the moment to one side. The rest of the ships when they get over the Atlantic, we'll stand them down. So we'll say we should save quite a lot of cash at that point. So we'll keep the budget as it is. And I really do need to start doing that. Actually, that might be a good use for the funds that we got from the Americans. So we're currently kind of at the bottom limit of our battleship hull. In terms of tonnage, which means we can't put it out exactly how we would like. And if we get decent larger guns, we won't be able to really afford to put them on. So I'm just going to do couple of 1,000 tons just to keep chipping away at this. Take 11 months, just while we've got the budget, just so there's something building. Unrest in Russia. Okay, so the government has been overthrown. Okay, the Prime Minister believes our Navy's crew training level is inadequate. He's quite right. How do you respond to this opinion? Agree him to persuade him for more funds. Naval budget, but it hurts the GDP. Get some prestige. Get quite a lot of prestige and negative budget. I'm actually going to go this time for the increased budget. It's only a very small reduction in GDP, and we gain control of Honduras, which makes up for the reduction, I suppose. Georgia there, and we are growing at quite a fast rate anyway, so happy with that. Battleships still making their way. Okay, so we now own Honduras. The battleships can return to port, and then we'll stand them down. And can we see what the next unlock on the big guns is? So we're still Mark 1 in everything. I'm hoping that's maybe a Mark 2 in a 12 or maybe a 13 inch. Or me run, hopefully we'll be able to see next turn what that is. Our technology's dropped down to average, so try and bump the budget for that up slightly as well. New election, Nationalist Party has won, formed a new government, and the US has tried to strengthen relations with us. These battleships are so slow. Still coming across there. But our ones in the Caribbean should be back in port. Yep, they are. So let's just stand down, everyone. Obviously, it will really hurt our crew training, but we need the cash for now. So we'll set them all to limited. How much does that save us? Yeah, we're just in the negative there now. Going to, while that's the case, maybe we should redesign that actually. We'll give it a couple more turns. In fact, let's put a priority into engines so we can get our triple expansion steam engines. And what's this one? Secondary turrets on light cruisers. And we haven't really got the holds really to fit them on at the moment, but we got our improved torpedo tubes soon. So we'll pass on the new light cruiser at the moment until we get that unlock. Let's increase tensions with the Italians again. Move on quickly. Okay, so we have an ultimatum from the Italians. So if we declare war, we actually get a bunch of prestige. The alternative is if we pay them off, but we wanted this, so we're now at war with the Italians. And most people have not liked that, apart from, it seems, oh no, pretty much everyone, yeah, everyone dislikes that. They obviously think we're a bit too aggressive, so we've got the new tube mechanisms. Okay, let's see what's happening here. So, we are back at war, so let's set all of our fleet. In fact, we'll keep the Caribbean fleet on stand down at the moment. And we'll set the 2 cruisers in the Bay of Biscay to sea control. We'll set everything in the North Atlantic and the Western Mediterranean and West Africa to sea control. Sorry about the pop-ups. I wish you could, if there is a way to stop them popping up so quickly, let me know, because it's a little bit annoying. Okay, so they're all at sea control. Our newer battleships, I believe, are at Cadiz still. Yeah, so our new Madrid class battleships and a couple of cruisers, armored cruisers, and one light cruiser. We'll send them actually into Valencia, I think, because the Italians, in fact, they don't appear to have anything at the moment in the Western Mediterranean, where their force is, and they still actually only, well, they have no battleships, and I think they might have scrapped a load of their cruiser force. Actually, I'm sure it was bigger than that, but this bodes well for us. And what else do we have in these ports? We'll leave those coming back to the port there at La Coruña for now. Yeah, and where are we on that research? So 2 months. Finances, we've got the big surplus at the moment from our war bonus, so let's bring the crew training back up slightly, and also the tech budget, just so we are staying in a surplus. Just, in fact, let's just put it to 70. Next turn we should be a bit higher than that. Tensions wise, who actually really hates us at the moment? Nearly everyone, which is fine. That's kind of what we want. So let's go with the Americans again. Increasing the tension. And let's move on. So at the moment we should be dominating the Western Med. Okay, so the Chinese Empire is keeping an eye on us. I didn't like what we're doing. I've got a convoy mission up here. What do they have in the Med? They still don't have any fleet in the Med. That we can see. So most of it's here in the Adriatic. So we might be able to blockade them, but we've got this convoy battle. So a couple of armoured cruisers and a light cruiser. They are our older, poor armoured cruisers. I think they're pretty poor. And we probably would lose this, I believe. We are just slightly faster. Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to win this, but let's try it. We will try and get in amongst the transport ships and then try and run away before they can sink us. In fact, it might be worth us bringing our more modern armoured cruisers back over from the Caribbean and potentially building a few more of those. We've got that weight limit unlock as well, so we can build some bigger ones. We're just trying to balance the budget, really. Okay, so I really hate these ships. We've got smoke spotted to the east. So let's head over there. Maximum speed. Light cruisers, not too bad. We'll try and get this in amongst the transports if we can. And it's currently just screening our armoured cruisers. It's not too bad looking, it's just this kind of tiny turret on this large area here, where we could get quite a decent sized gun that's just a little bit annoying. Not annoying, but just not very good. Let's fast forward. Okay, there we are. It's pretty much the same hull. I think it is the same hull actually, but they've got the bigger guns. Transport ships. So I think the transport ships will probably be, yeah, they're over there. So let's just slow it down. We're gonna try and draw off their cruisers with our armored cruisers. We'll try and lead them away, and then with our light cruiser we will try and sneak in, destroy the transports, and then we'll try and get away quick sharp. So speed wise we should be slightly better than the armoured cruisers. I'm not sure about the light cruiser, I haven't seen that yet. Okay, so we'll identify that. 99%, come on, there we go. So, Sirena? Okay, so a couple of 7.3 inch guns. 2.6 main belt, I think that's the same as on our ships. Yep, so they're quite similar actually to our ships, just with the better armament, but we're slightly faster. Just going to bring this a bit further around. Set up some smoke as well, see if we can sneak in. I'm not sure if they're taking the bait, they might be. Yeah, they're actually turning to follow our light cruiser. Let's speed it up slightly so. I can't tell if they are, but yeah, I think they may be leaving the light cruiser alone now. So we'll try and sneak it in this direction where the transports were. And we're basically just going to, for the most part, run away with our armoured cruisers. Now they seem to have taken the bait. Yeah, still chasing us. So let's swing the light cruiser around. Just play cat and mouse with them. We are slightly faster than them. They're 19.5 knots. We're currently making just over 20. And this light cruiser also can't catch us, just. That's only got 4.4 inch guns. But they're still coming after us, so let's go have a look at our light cruiser. And I haven't noticed. And there's a lot of transports there. So hopefully we can bring them down with our 4.5s. Get a bit closer. Even if the armoured cruisers now turn to try and save the convoy. Might be a bit too late. But we're just going to shift our costs slightly just to keep them interested. They are still following. Excellent. Okay, come in at the rear of their convoy and make our line up the way up the line. I don't think these are armed. Nope. No, so we should be okay. Also got 5 torpedoes for each tube. They can make 14 knots. Yeah, so I actually know where the rest of their ships have gone, but I think it's too late. Our armoured cruisers should be away. Just depends how quickly we can sink these. We're going to have to get in quite close, and if we see them coming back, we might have to scarper. Okay, open fire. We won't bring our armoured cruisers now, we'll make sure they get away. Okay, we're already scoring hits. Still can't see them. Okay, I think that one... Yep, that's on its way down. 3 of them on their way down. I mean, if we can sink all of these, you don't get that many victory points from cargo ships, unfortunately, but this is a decent amount. And we should get away, hopefully, unscathed. I think we took 1 hit on our armoured cruiser, which caused minor damage. And none of these appear to be armed. So we've got free reign. And pretty decent gunnery actually from the ship. The crew training level is green, so 1 up from cadets, I believe. I have a feeling the admiral in charge of that task force might get fired. Just checking on our armoured cruisers, just to see if they're still being pursued, and no one in sight. Another transport gone. Easy pickings. I think we should be able to get them all. Still no smoke scene. Let's speed up slightly. We could end the battle, or we could sink the rest of you. Don't seem to be able to hit that one. Let's just see how the damage comes in. So we are pretty much, every shot goes straight through. It's always good if you can get them in a line, because if you miss with your intended shot, you always have a chance of hitting the one behind. And given our gunnery, it actually probably happens more than the one we're aiming at. Apprentices goes down. Speed up again. I kind of wish at this point, if you ended the battle, you would just sink them all, or let you speed up faster. I remember a game I used to play a long time ago, I think like 20 years ago, Distant Guns. When you did come across a merchant ship, you kind of had to, you could kind of speed up time and let it resolve itself, but you had to watch it happen, and it just took so long just for one merchant ship just to run through the mission. In fact, I might do a video on that. I found it on my hard drive the other day, so a bit of a blast from the past. Let me know if you've ever played that. I think it's tricky to get now. I think the company possibly folded. I'm not sure. 3, is it one behind that? No, 2 more to go. Still no sign of the cruisers. Who are probably thinking, where did our transports go? So that one's sinking badly. Let's switch to then the last one. Michelio. That's going down. How are we doing on our ammo? Ah, fine. We still have combined 6,500 rounds. This one's heavy flooding, just a matter of time. Hey, there we go. So, killed all of them and lost less than 50% of our own ships. Excellent. Let's end the battle there. Didn't really take any damage, so already 2,500 victory points. That's quite nice. So a cat amongst the pigeons there. Yeah, so with the light presence in the Western Med, hopefully they'll send some ships over here so we can get a bit of a confrontation. I'm going to bring in to the Med the cruisers that were with our battleships. We'll bring them down to Malaga just so we have some more cruisers in the Med. We'll bring 3 of them in that torpedo boat. And they don't have any battleships to worry about, but our armoured cruisers obviously aren't particularly good. Relations wise, we'll go with the... Oh, have we already? No, we haven't done the We'll go with the... Who else hates us? We'll go with the Chinese since they didn't like what we did earlier. 1 month away from those improved engines. Let's move on to next turn. Our technology has gone back to advanced, so that's great. And we've had a battle generated, so the Red Cross urges the Italian Empire and our nation to accept the exchange of prisoners. So if we agree, we lose some cash, but lose some unrest. We can not negotiate, which kind of doesn't do anything. Let's do that. Okay, so we've got the triple expansion steam engines now. And the Chinese ignored our provocations. But the Soviet Union... Oh, did I click? I might have clicked the Soviets instead, actually. British provoked us. That's the one I don't want. Let's go to our research. So we'll remove that priority from the engines now. What have we got in terms of big guns? So Mark II 9-inch, quite useful. We can hopefully design a new armoured cruiser with 9-inch guns. Turret mechanisms, again we get those secondary turrets, not that useful at the moment. What's the control station one? Some improved towers. So let's, if we put it in 2 months, let's design... Well, let's see what that battle is first. Okay, so armoured cruiser v armoured cruiser. Let's auto-resolve that. And a draw. Light damage to us, they just took a few victory points, but that's fine. What's in that squadron? So basically, I think that's pretty much so 5 armoured and 8 light cruisers. I think that's pretty much their... Yeah, that's pretty much their entire fleet. So let's take our main fleet and bring them out of port. So we've got a couple of ships repairing. Let's bring them out of port and we'll increase tensions with the US again. And then we will design maybe a couple of cruisers, but let's just see if we can meet them in the big battle. So we'll move on to next turn. If we can catch them here, or if we generate a battle, it looks like we do. If we can wipe out most of their fleet, they've got a couple of ships building, but not much else, we can blockade them, and then we should be able to rack up the victory point. So the Italians are accusing us of war crimes. We can counter-accuse them, or just shrug. That costs us a load of money, so we'll shrug. Okay, so, yep, this is pretty much their entire fleet. So we are outnumbered, but I would like to have a few more cruisers. How fast are these? 20 knots. Or sort of 19, 20. I think because they're... I would be worried if they can come in quickly with their torpedo boats, but I think because they probably have the lowest tech on torpedoes, we can hopefully destroy them before they get near to us. So if we can fight this, we can hopefully win the war in one confrontation, one showdown. But we'll leave it there for this episode, and subscribe for more. I will be continuing the Let's Play with Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, and be starting a few other Let's Plays with some classic strategy games sometime soon. Thanks for watching.